Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where I just loaded up the game here, and where's the imminent revolt? They're all still disloyal. Maybe it'll pop up in a little bit. I don't know, that's weird. So we do have a scorned family. We should probably get somebody from the Davidites into this, because we need all the loyalty we can get our hands on. There are no Davidites. Okay, perfect. We need all the loyalty we can get our hands on, right? No doubt about that. Now we've got these levies here. And what's the situation here in terms of diplomacy? Okay, so we can come up over this way and just start a siege there. That sounds good. These guys are working on replenishing. Our manpower is, of course, negligible. But what we need to be doing right now is we need to be dealing with this. So we've got these guys up over here. This is not currently occupied. Apparently, it's because this isn't occupied. Okay, you're going up over here. Why don't you come down here instead? We're very close to being able to knock these guys out of the war. Where is Bata? I'm wondering. So that's these guys up here, right? Yeah. And then there's these guys here. Okay, so that's noted. So that's going to be a lot, right? And we can't force them to abandon. But we could not make them be our client state. We can make Bata be our client state, but they are not occupied. So where is Bata? Ah, that's these guys up over here. Okay. So these, they're not going to be a client state. So the best we can do is we can take maybe some of their territory, but we have to wait until January. So that's understood. So in that case, yeah, I think going up here is the correct move. Now, I want to go through some of these. We've got Taucine down over here. Gabai and Gadrosia. So what I'm wondering is... Okay, that would need to be occupied. Right. What if we do this as this whole war here? So we could do this. These two would not do anything. Now this guy, he's disloyal. There's... Wait a second. He's at 98? This needs to update, right? This has to be a bug. This needs to update. Yeah, 17. That's what I thought. That's more like it. Wait, but he became loyal for a moment there. Well, I want him to come here. He's going to change again. But I ordered him to come here. Yeah, he's just going to go up over here. That's understood. So that just needed to update. Yeah, now the Civil War is back too. Okay, this makes way more sense now. We just needed a bump stick. So that's understood. There's not really anything we can do about this Civil War. It's just going to happen, and that's because if we look at these guys, they've got minus 80 loyalty from culture happiness. And that's just because of the plague. Nothing we can do about it. It's going to happen. So to that end, our best bet is to try to peace out and make client states of as many of these as we can. So, what about Daru? Well, they're not capped. They're not capped. Laconia, not an option. Kal, not an option. Axum, not an option. Arabian Maritime, not an option. Eastern Desert, no. Crete, no. Memphis, no. There's probably some of these that we've occupied at this point, but it's none of these that we've looked at so far. So that's understood. Mios Hormos, no. Phasis, actually, Phasis would. Done. Okay, back in here. We can go back down to, let's see here. We were down around, yeah, Zood, Colsyria, Sid. We were around here. Hebrew, Dur, Omana. We were a little further than this. So, Mios Hormos, yep. Marat, okay. Karabshar, yep. Melatine, wait, what was this? Oh, they would white piece. Yeah, I don't want to white piece them. Okay, so we got one of those out anyway. So now we've got the Bata Rebellion, right? And we've got these guys out over here. It's currently October. We can't do anything with them just yet. So Gadrosia. Yeah, none of that can be a thing just yet. We need to let some of these sieges progress. So that's understood. So we'll let that go for the time being. We need to go until January. Now, this civil war is going to happen, and this is a pretty bad time for it to happen, but, you know, what are you going to do? Okay, so we've got this army here and this army here. Presumably they were disloyal briefly. That's understood. There's not much we can do at this point. We just need to piece out what we can and put an end to as much of this as possible. And then we'll reconquer and annex the rest. So we just won the Siege of Melitene, and that is this completed. That's good. I want to head down here next. I'd like to stack wipe that 2K stack if we can. Looks like we're going to catch them here. Beautiful. And then we're going to grab this and then come out over this way. So that's absolutely wonderful. This guy is disloyal and wandering around aimlessly. Same with this guy. Okay. Not very much to be done there for right now. So what we really need is these guys to finish up here. That will likely allow us to finish Armenian Neuti, which would be great. And Melitene will fall very shortly here. So these guys are here. I'm going to go up and look to fight them and then come down to here. We need to get all of this capped, right? So that's understood. So we're going to come up over this way. And from there, yep, this is all fine. Understood. We're going to whip around and start going this direction. Okay. We're building up money again, by the way. So that means that we can hire mercs when the Civil War breaks out. So that's good. Okay. So we just won a battle down here. Understood. This guy's running around kind of pointlessly. Gabai is... yeah, we need this down here. It's very awkward. No doubt about it. So we do need a governor out over this way. This guy can do the job, probably. That'll be okay. But the Civil War is going to happen. I don't think there's any way to prevent it at this point. We're very, very low on our stability. We do need to work on our stability, but we have so much that we need to do at this point. This plague has basically completely destroyed our empire. Now, to be clear, it's destroyed Rome, too. It's done a lot of damage to India and China as well. Everyone is having the same problem, although maybe to a slightly lesser extent. But also it's spreading somewhat slower out over this way. It takes time for it to get out here, right? So it's going to continue spreading out here for a good long time. We are beginning to see the end of it, though, so that is wonderful. Now, we need to piece these guys out. There's only so much that we can actually take from them, unfortunately. And specifically, we cannot make them be a client state, 105, so we're going to have to take a state or two from them. Yeah, they'll accept like this. Or what if we did like this? Yeah, they'll accept that. So we would need to take a state or two from them, and then... I wonder. Yeah, 38 reasons not to do that. Okay. So it would be something like... where was that peace deal? Reset that, do this, and then do that. They would accept this. So we'll do that. We'll conquer the rest later. So that'll be ideal. And of course, that's not going to be a thing. So we'll just do that. There we go. So a bunch of that territory comes to us. They're going to have independence for a little bit. We'll get back to them. Okay, so you are disloyal. There's really not much we can do about it. There really, really isn't. Everyone's disloyal, and it's going to cause significant problems. Significant problems. We just need to deal with that happiness issue, right? But the main problem with the happiness issue is the plague epidemic. This is going to be here until November of 933, right? Like, this is going to keep going for a very long time. I don't know what we're supposed to do about this plague epidemic, to be honest. This is just the way it is. So, okay. Let's get this completed, and we'll get Melitene pieced out. And these guys, Iris Superioris is our client state. Right. Okay. So a lot of these guys out over here are independent, right? And that's not ideal. They're independent or our client state. So that's understood. We're going to need these guys, I guess, to start coming out over here, because this guy is disloyal now. We're going to need these guys to start coming out over this direction, which oh, this guy's disloyal too. Okay, so we basically don't have any control anymore over our leadership. Well, we'll slaughter all of these, and that might bump up our leadership in some of these areas. Actually, that did. That bumped this guy up to 56. So we have control over him, at least. And we can head out over here. Now, I do want to piece out Melitine. So that would be someone in here. There we go. I don't think we can take all of this, but we can make them our client state. And that we will definitely do. Okay. The more client states we can make right now, the better off we'll be short term. Long term, that's going to create problems. But short term, this should be okay. So these leaders, they're going to run around and do stuff, and there isn't really much we can do about it. So that's understood. There's a lot of these areas out over here that for now, it just is. We can raise up levies if we really wanted to, and I'm noting that these levies keep appearing here, which is kind of okay, actually. I would like these guys to come join up over here. So we're going to send them on up there. Looks good. These guys, for the moment, they are just sitting. And we're doing that deliberately. Those are very weak armies at this juncture. So that looks fine. Eventually, we'll get this under control. I hope. I wish? Maybe I wish. So the Civil War is going to break out in 2 months at this point. We should go through and see if there's anything at all we should do about it. Or rather, even can do about it. So we look at this guy, minus 108.9 due to culture happiness. Look at this culture happiness overall. Number of integrated cultures, minus 404. What? Wait, has it just been passively integrating all of our cultures? Wait a second. We did not integrate all of these. Huh. Well, this is going to drop their culture happiness by 20%, but I think that's worth it because we're at minus 404% from number of integrated cultures. So I think we need to put them down to Freeman for Greco for basically all of these. Let's sort by number of pops. For anyone who is under perhaps like 500 or so. So that would be Nabatian. So we would need to have these go down to Freeman. And that'll boost everyone up a little bit to 339. Why did it integrate all of these pops? I don't think I did this. And this is going to cost us political influence, which is going to be a problem, of course, because we don't have all that much political influence. So I have no idea how all of these pops got integrated, because I definitely did not integrate it. They've been integrating as we've been fighting them, it feels like. So that's very, very interesting. So at this point, we lack the 5 here. I have to assume that that's a bug that they've been integrating like this. I assumed that they were super, super low because of the plague, but that's not true. So that's interesting. We just lost, what, like 20 or 25 political influence here. I'm going to be right back in the debug mode, and I want to take a look at this. 1 second. Okay, so here we are back loaded in the debug mode of where we just were. And what I want to do here is I want to fix the bug, because I am 99% certain that all of these cultures being integrated is a bug. I don't think that we integrated any of them, actually. If I recall correctly, we integrated, like, maybe Macedonian? I don't remember exactly who all we integrated. But we definitely didn't integrate, like, all of these down over here. 100% we did not. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have to fix that. That means we're going to need to add in a bunch of political influence. And we're going to need to... Let's see. We can add 100 here. And I'm not sure if there's a way to remove them. I think there probably is. But let's add 100 political influence here. We have to do this in the debug mode because this costs political influence to do this. But these should not be integrated. Under no circumstances. Now, I'm willing to accept the minus 20% culture happiness, and we'll say that that's due to the plague. I'm okay with that. So we're going to get all of these kicked down, and you can see that that's dropping the culture rising the culture happiness for all of these other cultures. So none of these should be integrated. I don't know where the integration here came from, but this should not be here. It's quite a big deal to integrate a culture, and we definitely didn't integrate this culture with one pop. That's not a thing that I would have ever done under any circumstances. So yeah, this is a big part of the reason why this is happening. I have to assume this is a bug, but I don't know what causes it. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this going forward and see if it's continuing to do this. All of these single pop cultures being integrated, I have no idea what's with that. So I think that means that the issue, and we need to add in more political... Hang on, I did not mean to add stability there. Stability 50? Stab 50? Okay, stab minus 50? Yeah. Okay, yes, this is due to cheating. We're working on fixing this. So this is 104, and our stability should not be at 50 either. It should be like minus 25. So it should be somewhere around here, I believe, is where our stability should be. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. And you can see we've already dropped the culture unhappiness by like 200% here. So Greco-Indian should not be integrated. We should definitely not have Aeolians integrated. Pontics? No. Paeonians? Absolutely not. And you can see all of these are at 1% here, and that's because they lost their citizenship. They're still going to be very upset, but that's okay. This is still going to be very worthwhile for us to fix this. This is insane. I don't know how the game got into this state, but this explains a lot about what's been happening. All of these 1 and 2 pop cultures being integrated. How? I have to assume something bugged in the, like, interaction with Terra Indomita or something. That's the only explanation I have, because this is insane. There's no way that I would have done this. Okay, I'm going to add 200 political influence this time. We've got a bunch more of these that we need to take out. I'm going to put us at ideally 0 political influence once we are done with this. Or very close to it. No, we should be at like 25, I believe, is approximately where we should be. So I just want to approximate that, and that'll be fine. So we can do this, and our overall pop happiness is going up significantly. Like, we're still in 6 pop areas, right? We have 6 people that is this culture in our empire. Why would this be integrated? There is no reason at all for that. We should have like 2 or 3 integrated cultures at this point. I don't know off the top of my head how many it should be, but it's been a very long time since we integrated anything. We've just been assimilating this whole time. That's been the strategy. So the absolute maximum number that we should have is like 3 integrated pops. So let's get this taken care of. Move these all back. There we go. Because, yeah, this number of integrated pops clearly is not correct. Or this number of integrated cultures, I should say. Clearly not correct. So at this point, our happiness is way, 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 way better. And once we get this finished, and no, I don't want to set their citizen rights, or I don't want to set the rights to citizen. They're correct where they are. Okay, these here should be on Freeman. These should be on Freeman. These should be on Freeman. And this has been happening as we've been getting these guys taken back, right? They've been rebelling and then coming back, and then this has been building up for a while. I've been noticing it building up in the disloyalty. So that's definitely a significant issue. We're going to need additional political influence here. There we go. And we're going to continue to work our way through this. So you can see the culture happiness is now improving substantially. We're up to 21 culture happiness now, and that's looking very good. But we're still in 35 pops here. There's just, this is the core issue that I just didn't realize was happening. So that's wonderful that we found this. I'm very, very happy about that. I don't know why this happened. I have no explanation for it, but this was definitely 100% the issue. So yeah, these guys are going to be very upset because they're losing their citizenship status, and that's okay. I don't mind that. So none of these are integrated. We've already taken out their citizenship. I'm going to do the same thing for the Tamils and for the Garans. The Garans were annexed. Yeah, they should not be integrated either. The Macedonians maybe should be. Armenians, they are not. They never have been, apparently. But the Macedonians, they maybe should remain integrated. If I remember correctly, I believe I did integrate the Macedonians. So now you can see that instead of being at minus 400 culture happiness for Hebrew, now we're up to 57. That's a little bit better. No doubt about that. Okay, so this is going to be a significant change here. This guy's up to 64. This guy's up to 49. This guy's still at 0, but fair enough. Some of that is going to happen. Okay, let's make a save here and overwrite that, and now we need to exit debug mode. Oh, wait, we have too much political influence. What would that be? Influence minus, this should be like 114? No, it's not influence. Interesting. There's not really a way to remove this. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to remove this, and we'll be back in the non-debug mode in just a moment. Okay, so here we are back in the regular mode, and at this point we need to give it a month tick, but as you can see, I did manage to drop this. The command is political_influence, apparently. So that's good to know. We're at 25 stability, which I think is slightly different from what it was previously. It might be slightly higher, slightly lower. I'm not 100%. I'd have to go back and check the video. But this should be ballpark where it was previously. My main question now is, wow, look at how much that changed on the disloyal character count. Okay, let's give it a month tick, and let's see where we are. This might actually prevent the, and yeah, we won't negotiate with slaves. This might actually prevent that civil war. So these guys joined a war of independence against us up over here. Understood. I want to send this force up over to deal with that right now. This is, who all are we at war with over here? Okay, understood. So that's absolutely fine for the time being. We're going to go up here and deal with that. So we should have a lot more loyalty now. And yeah, you can see here, our disloyal character is not too bad. That was entirely caused by that ridiculous number of integrated cultures. I'm glad I checked that, but now I wish I had checked it a lot sooner. So we have a lot of small cultures here with low culture happiness, and that's mostly because they've got that citizenship lost modifier, right? But eventually that'll work its way back to 20%. I'm not too concerned about that. That will also probably, yeah, this list is a lot shorter now. Okay, this is really good. So now that we've discovered what the actual core problem was, this is fine. My main question at this point is, how did we get to that point? We need to keep in mind that that was a very, very awkward situation to be in. No doubt about that. Now we're back to negative in our treasury, but we are making a lot more manpower. So that's interesting too. Now this force is heading out over here, which I think is actually fine. Where are you going? You're heading there, which I think is actually fine as well. Now this army over here, this guy is now no longer... He's no longer disloyal. So I want to come up over here. Is Taucine in this war still? Yes. Okay. So you go do that. And this guy, he's loyal now too. Look at that. 100 loyalty now. It's amazing what happens when you discover what the actual problem was. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to proceed with a whole lot more loyalty, now that we've discovered that apparently the game automatically integrated basically every culture we've ever conquered. I don't know how that happened. There is no universe where that should happen. That is also not a good thing, but at least we got it fixed. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time, where we're actually going to start making some concrete progress on this.